Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm here with you today with another passage. This week, I'm just picking some random passages to share on and hopefully help your life out some. Today, I want to read from Lamentations, the last chapter, chapter 5, and almost the last few verses, starting with verse 19. But Lord, you remain the same forever. Your throne continues from generation to generation. Why do you continue to forget us? Why have you abandoned us for so long? Restore us, O Lord, and bring us back to you again. Give us back the joys we once had. Well, the book of Lamentations, written by Jeremiah, is a book of being sorrowful. It's a lament, which means to feel the pain of something you've done and regret it. And the whole book talks about Jerusalem and Israel forgetting God, getting punished, and what happens there and there. And in the middle of it, there's this wonderful passage how God says that his mercy and grace is forever and ever. And so we get to the end of the little book, and Jeremiah returns to the original theme. He starts out by acknowledging God. But God, you remain the same forever, and your throne continues from generation to generation. It's important for you and for me to acknowledge that God is God and that He is responsible for our lives and the precious gifts that we have, that He is the one in control. Now, I know a lot of people think they're in control, and you are over certain things. I mean, I have control over what I'm going to eat for lunch. Well, at least I have control over what I'm going to look to eat for lunch. Now, if I eat at home, I'm constricted by what there is at the house, and if I go out, I'm restrained by whatever is on the menu. But I still have control over that. I don't have to leave here and say, "Oh boy, I wonder if God's going to provide me anything to eat." I got that one. Some people don't, though. They don't have as much. And each day they wonder. But that's another story. It says, Lord, you remain the same. Your throne continues from generation to generation. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever, as the scriptures say. The same God who lovingly made the world is the same God who wants the best for you. He hasn't changed. Maybe you've changed, but he hasn't. And then here comes the regretting. Why do you continue to forget us? Is it really that God has forgotten them? Or is it that they don't see God at work? So they assume he's forgotten them. You see, it's so critical to see God at work in our lives. Now, how do you do that? Well, as you've heard me say, it's really simple. It's just complicated. All you have to do is open your eyes, well, maybe not that far, and look. See with your heart, not with the rods and cones that are in your eye and create the optics in your brain. See with your heart. See the beauty around you. See the way that God did something last week or before. See the way that God is working in the smile of this person you encounter. God doesn't forget us. We think he does because things don't work the way we want them to. Somehow we got the notion that we're in charge. And if that's how you are, I got news for you. You're not. He says, why have you abandoned us for so long? Well, the question comes again, not that God has abandoned them, but that they have abandoned God. You hear the difference? If you're not putting God first in your life, why do you think he ought to take care of you? If for you God is an afterthought, well, why do you think he's going to do something for you? Well, the truth of the matter is he still will anyway if you ask him, but you're not going to ask him because you think you're in charge. You think you got it. And you can think that your whole life if you want to. Doesn't matter. It will matter in the end, but you haven't gotten to the end yet. So far as you can tell, things are still going your way. And then Jeremiah says, restore to us, O God, and bring us back to you again. Bring us back to the joys we once had. Now, I keep thinking about the development of little kids. Generally speaking, there are exceptions, of course, but generally speaking, little kids are happy. They laugh a lot. They accept people. They play with just about anybody. And yes, they demand food, but golly, wouldn't you? And they grow up with this, we call it a tenderness, that just opens up to everybody. What would life be like if we adults kept that instead of walked away with it, or walked from it to something different? Restore us, Lamentations says. God, bring us back to that time when we were so joyful. Why would anybody not want that? Why would that not be a regular prayer? Lord, restore us and give us back the joy so that we can live the way you intended. Well, that's a good thought. Good way to get towards it, the end here. I hope you think about it. If we can help you in some way, let us know. We'll do everything we can as fast as we can to help meet your needs. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you have a really great day. I'll talk to you again.